Hi, I'm Erin, and today I'm discussing why students should take a gap year. And so I chose this topic because we're constantly told after graduating high school, you either go to college or you join the military. And so a lot of people don't want to join don't want to join the military, or are not ready to go to college. And so, by doing further research, you can find that universities actually encourage students to take a year off. And so upon enrolling to college, a lot of students do it just because they're told to, because they're doing it because their high school friends are doing it and they kind of want to stay on track. And by staying on track, they don't risk being behind. But by taking a year off, you realize that you can gain other experiences by doing so. And by the experience I'm talking about is career experience, working on your academics, and you can gain personal growth. And so by starting off, what is a gap year? A gap year is typically a break between high school and college. And during that break, students usually travel, they internship, they work, and they normally kind of find who they are, personal growth. And so it originated from the United Kingdom back in the 70s, and it came over to America back in the 80s. And the purpose of the gap year was to help students transition from finals from high school and then taking that break off, but then also going to college. And so by doing that, students that take the time off, they tend to explore possibilities outside of the social norm, outside of doing what everybody else is doing. And so Time Magazine did an interview of parents in different institutions discussing what they felt about gap year. And so when they interviewed parents were afraid of students taking a year off because they felt that taking a year off, they'll lose motivation of going back to school. And then when they interviewed institutions, they felt that students will lose that study material or material to help them go through college or through higher education. And so even though there's a bunch of speculations about taking a year off, there's a lot of positive sides to taking that year off because there's different things you can learn from it, like career experience. And so with career experience, it gives you that time to kind of work on your resume, work on your background, learn to do different traits, besides kind of just going to school and waiting until after school to do it. So by doing that, you can travel, which is kind of like a study abroad program to kind of learn cultures and different perspectives of life. You also internship at places that you feel that that's a career that you want to do. And with that, it helps kind of build that background to your experiences, and it helps also pick a major for when you go to school. And so also by working, you help put money in your pocket to help save, to help secure that financial burden on you, because 3 months after graduating high school is not enough money to save for college, because a lot of people are in debt or doing financial aid programs. So working, it helps kind of put that cushion under you. And also by building a resume, it helps because you have a lot of work experience. And then also by internship, oh my gosh, okay, by doing it, it helps show employers that you have a goal in mind, you're willing to kind of work on it, but then also you're willing to go back to school to do it. And so, even though working as experience, you also have the ability to work on your academics as well. And so, the American Gap Association did a study, and it stated that universities report a higher GPA in students who took a gap year off because they kind of hired a tutor to kind of figure out, what classes they'll be taking or what the rigors of college would be like. And so with that study, it helps bring up the GPA whenever they go back to college. And also during that time, you have time to improve your scores. And so in high school, you're constantly being told, take the SAT, like over and over again. But you also forget that you're also a high school student, and so you're trying to graduate also on time or even with a good GPA. And so by being pressured to do that, you probably graduate with maybe a low GPA, but then also not a very good score to get into college that you want to. And so with that, by taking the time off, you have that time to rebuild your score and then also get into college that you want. And also, universities encourage students to take the time off. They want you to take the time off to kind of realize, if you want to go to school. Not only if you want to go to school, by taking the time off, it shows that you're determined, and they give you reward money for it. And so from the gap from the American Gap Association, I found that, at least in Texas that we live in, that Baylor, St. Edwards, which is in Austin, Southwestern, which is in Georgetown, TCU, and University of Dallas, are the only schools that encourage students to take a gap year, and they also reward you. And there's also 38 states in the country that encourage that as well. And so, also by redeeming your education, you can also kind of realize that you're becoming a better person by improving yourself. And with that, you gain personal experience. And so, by the U.S. Gap Year Fairs, they did a research stating that students are 75% more happier with themselves by taking time off, and also doing so, you become happier because you become more successful and grown as a person. Also, students allow themselves to relax and breathe from high school into college, because that transition could be hard, and then also it could be exhausting and just give you anxiety. But from the break, students feel emotionally and physically comfortable by starting school again by that break, because they feel like they have a fresh start and they don't have to worry about what high school is like. They just kind of have a fresh plate. But overall, students learn life lessons sooner than they would being at school, because you gain that independence. You learn independence, you learn maturity, because you're taking a big step that a lot of people take but don't continue through it. And so, overall, taking a gap year is a big decision in people's lives, and so it shows maturity and independence, and showing that you're willing to venture out of what people are all doing. And so, and by going to school after, it helps keep you in track, and you're still with the people that you've gone to high school with. You're just probably like a year behind. And so, with that, I say